Alrighty guys, so this is gonna be the first request that I had, making a super small tank. Now it's not the absolute tiniest, but it is gonna be probably the one where it actually functions incredibly well. I tried to make it extremely small, but the issue is that when I had one road wheel, um, it did not work very well. So instead of making it so small that it kind of looked glitched, I made it reasonably small. Like, it's incredibly small. It's just that it's not to the absolute smallest that the body and turret and everything will go. But I made it functional, and you'll see what I'm talking about because the engine doesn't make any sense. It's a two-cylinder, couple liter. It doesn't have a whole lot of horsepower, but it's fast, as you'll see. And I didn't get the entire, like, I mean, there's not really much that was done with the body wise, but this is just me making it look good and doing various things to it as I was building it. I tried to record at the very beginning, like when I started from scratch, but the issue is that for some reason I ended up having um, I don't know what was going on with what recording wise, but it just did not save it. But anyways, I got the rest of it. Um, and like I said, this thing, it's funny. Uh, and as you see by the thumbnail, I gave it a really long gun. I have no idea how it was even able to move the damn thing, but it has a lot of penetration for no reason whatsoever. Um, and since it was 15 tons and this is late war, obviously the cannon and the engine technology is at 100%. So I wasn't getting a debuff by being like mid-war, early war, inter-war, like. So this thing works, and it's hilarious because it leans backwards, as you will see here in a minute. And I don't know, but I'm gonna put this one up on the website too, under like a cursed tank build. And it almost reminds me of the MS1 because the person who left me the comment under my video saying about the smallest tank, that's my cousin. So we were talking before. He was like, "You should make that mousetrap thing," because he's never played World of Tanks, and we refer to the MS1 as a mousetrap because of the roller thing on the back. And I added it to this one, and it fits perfectly. It works because of how this tank is shaped. It made so much sense to do it. And yeah, it's so funny how this tank functions so well for being as cursed as it is. I don't know how I did it. I don't know why I did it. I don't know why I made it this way, but I did. Um, but look how fast this thing will go. It is, I don't understand. It's a two-cylinder. It's a super underpowered two-cylinder, and it goes so fast for no reason other than because it wants to. I gave it the twin transmission, uh, but it really didn't need it. It would have still went fast, and it also does donuts, as I will show you in a minute. It's just this thing's so funny. Because it leans backwards, like I said, and the roller on the back. I don't know if it functions the way it's supposed to, but it seems like it does, and it keeps it from tilting backwards. I tried to prevent that by scooting the rear uh, sprocket, whatever you want to call it, not idler. It may be idler. Either way, I changed something on it. I scooted them back and expanded them so it wouldn't do it, and it still did it. And look how fast this thing is for no reason. And when I gave it the super small gun, it just shows you how inaccurate they are. Um, and you'll see why I did the really long gun. And I guess that's a little bit of a preview of the next thing that I'm working on, which is the super long gun with the max shell length. I'm not going to say how I'm going to do it. I've started on it. But yeah, look, donuts, and it does it just fine. It it's just like it. I don't know. This thing is funny. But with the long gun, I feel like it's better. Not only because it has a lot of penetration and a decent gun, but it's so accurate. This thing with the short barrel, I don't even hit this dude one time. And even with like the shortest gun, it still had a lot of velocity off of the 30 millimeter that I gave it. I don't know. But I mean, the long gun works so much better. And I found its mortal enemy, which is an incline over top of that hill. Like whatever that degree is, it won't go up it. So now, I'm pretty sure this is when I start changing things around with the gun. And as it turns out, you'll see how I do it. I was gonna do it like that and make it super short and tiny, but I decided to make it stupid long. But you'll see how long the gun can get if you increase the base in the barrel, and I still have no idea how it managed to be balanced like this. I don't know. I don't know how. But with the gun like that, it's accurate and it's got a super high velocity. I didn't check the penetration when I done that, but it is a lot better than what it was with the short barrel. And it actually kills things pretty effectively. It was pretty upsetting to know that this cursed tank did better than the Tiger II on the Fields late war mission. Yeah, but I get teammates too because it's only 15,000 or no 15,000, 15 tons or less. So I get a bunch of AI teammates. So it's not like they're only shooting at me either. But this thing all pimped out and stuff looks like a legitimate vehicle. I mean, not so much with a Eiffel Tower length gun, but you know, and this distance, I couldn't really penetrate the side of that dude. I think one gets in. I think that was the one that got in. Oh, that was when I killed him. Yeah, I killed the panther with it. I and yeah, I just this thing's wild. Like I said, I'm still waiting on the other tanks that I've built to go live on the website, but as soon as they do, I'm gonna link them up in there. Uh, this thing took some hits before it went down. I don't know if it's because there was like no armor. I don't know the shell mechanics of this game, but no armor prevents shrapnel. You know what I'm saying? It prevents shrapnel because there's not enough stuff there to make that really make a whole lot of shrapnel off the shell penetrating the tank. And you know, if it's a solid shot, it doesn't have an HE filler, so it doesn't explode. But there you go. With a super long gun, it cannot work it, but I make it the longest possible length it can without not being able to do it. And as it turns out, for some reason, uh, it can 100% move the gun perfectly, even though it's almost 3 times longer than the tank itself. And all I had to do was adjust the mount, the elevation, like torque off the thing. So turns out it does it just fine with no issues. And like I said, I have no idea why. But you'll see here in a second how accurate the gun is. And it still has a pretty good reloading rate. I mean, I think I've only got 3 people in it somehow. I mean, I was going to just put 2, but I decided just to go ahead and put the commander in the hull somewhere. I don't know where, but he's in there somewhere. And took a hit from that dude, didn't die somehow. This tank seems like it's more effective than some of the legitimate builds that I have seen so far. And that doesn't make any sense, and it's a little upsetting. So, I don't know. Now, the next thing, the next thing that I'm doing, like I said, is going to be the longest possible gun with the longest possible shell length, and I'm wondering how high the what I'm going to do is I'm not going to try to make it the super big caliber. I'm just going to try to make it have the most penetration that I can possibly milk out of it. And like I said, I'm not going to say how I'm going to do it, but it's going to be done. So um, I'm kind of excited to finish it. I've already started on the base somewhat, but yeah. I mean, anyways, this is the little man, a super small curse tank that somehow functions better than most vehicles that I have made. And like I said, it's a little upsetting. I don't know what I did, but the gun has enough penetration on this thing to make it probably work pretty good in the scenarios. I didn't bring it into mid war, so I don't know how it is there. But late war, this thing kicks ass. I mean, it's a functional light tank. So, um, yeah, like I'm glad you guys like these videos, but like this is really nice, like because it's something that I enjoy doing a lot. So, like I said, permanent stay on the channel. But anyways, that is it, everybody. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see y'all later.